Good afternoon, Westwood, and welcome to Flay Hive Field on a beautiful opening night for Westwood girls soccer. Evan, right off the bat, taking on a TVL rival, the Holliston Panthers. Not only just a TVL rival, but the team that knocked them out of the playoffs last year. And what way to start off your season for the Westwood Wolverines.
Well, you know, Morgan, Westwood's going to start off their season and end their season against the Holliston Panthers, albeit in different sports.
Yeah,
but, you know, we're excited here. It's the opening day at Westwood High School. The boys soccer team currently playing Holliston right now, so we'll keep an update for that, see if we get any word there. But tonight, girls soccer kicks off their season coming off of a strong season last year that we went over in the season preview that for the Wolverine Report that just came out yesterday. But this is an exciting season, and right off the bat, Morgan, we have a lot of stuff to be looking forward to in this game.
Absolutely. And these are two teams, like we mentioned, two teams that are always, competing very tough, and hard against each other. They're typically two teams that have, fought for second place in the TVL Large, but these are two teams that proved themselves last year to be able to really chip at Hopkinton. Holliston had a tie versus Hopkinton, I think, a week or two before Westwood's game, and then Westwood went out, got a big win versus, Hopkinton at home. So, I think this is the year where, anyone can go out there and win that TVL Large title, for girls soccer. And Westwood, right off to a great start in the preseason. So they had a really good game against Walpole. I was here. It was like a 7-0 win. And we know Walpole. Walpole's good in every sport.
Yep.
There isn't any sport they take off. And then they had a big win over Oliver Ames, which, that night, I see the Globe, Power 20, top 20 rankings come out, and they were ranked 20th. So this is a different Westwood team. It's been a year, and it's a completely different team. I see a lot of depth on this team. I see a lot of dangerous goal scorers. You got a healthy Izzy Hansen that is back now. And Izzy Hansen's at 31 points, 20 career goals. She is tied with Lil Hancock, my niece, for the all-time scoring, the all-time points record for Westwood girls soccer. So her next point will make her the standalone all-time points record holder. And, Erin Gannon, a girl, we called a lot last year. We called her name a lot last year. She had 17 goals as a freshman. Like, that is absolutely outstanding. She's only 3 goals behind the all-time goals record that Izzy Hansen has at 20. So these are things to keep an eye on and something that might even happen today. And Wolverine starters coming onto the field. Both teams' captains had the initial conversations, refs or officials setting the ground rules, and we got both teams on the field now. It is almost official. This is when we were talking about it last year, the impact of shadows and visibility. So, whether the sun's in your eyes or, whether the shadows, sometimes we've seen some issues with that. So.
Well, Morgan, I'm panning the camera over just briefly before we start to the Holliston goal right now where the sun is in their eyes.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, over on the Westwood side, the shadows have blocked off, so visibility is not going to be an issue for Westwood here. No. So the big thing, too, is can you capitalize right now while the sun is working in your favor for Westwood? Holliston's going to start with the ball here.
Panthers going to start off, so they do have a toss before the game. You can choose whether you want to start or which side you want, and they're going to, I'm not sure if they chose the possession, but we are underway. We're going to kick it back. And the ball spotted at the 50, working left to right. Wolverines working right to left across the screen. Pass inside, able to create some space, looking to get a shot off. Blocked, and a save by Bertone. That was a great defensive play. I don't know if it was Mason there to get a piece of that shot, but great play there to get a foot on that to make a very easy save there for Bertone to get her hands on that, and she boots it down the field. About a 60-yard boot, crosses the 50 and inside the 30. Panthers able to get the ball back. Looking to find a player inside, no one there. The Wolverines are going to kick it out of bounds. Actually, smart play. It went off a Panther player, so it's a very smart play there by the Wolverine defender. Looks like it was Avery Bohm who let it go out of bounds, knowing it was going to come right back to Westwood. Travers trying to send it up. Bella Wen there playing some solid defense. Bella Wen, one of the 4 captains. We've been calling her name for a few years now. Shot on net, saved by Bertone. Able to get the hands on that. And 2 quick looks for the Panthers here in the first 2 minutes. And another boot by Bertone. Those Bertones can kick the ball, huh? Brother John, he kicks 40-yard extra points. I saw him the other day on the scrimmage versus Duxbury, and I said, John, I think we're going to see a potential game-winning field goal when it matters out of you this year. And he says, I sure hope so. He's been working hard. He's ready. He's ready for the call. And shout out to him. Committed to Bentley University, will be playing baseball at the next level for a very, very good school. Westwood able to keep that in. There's Bannister. Bannister with some nice moves, trying to center it. Kicked out by Holliston. Wen jumps on it, but that ball gets away, and then kicked out of bounds by Holliston. Avery Bohm with a throw-in. Sends it to Bannister. Bannister, a speedster. She was part of, I believe, some of the relays for the Wolverines. She did some of the 100-yard dashes as well. And ball in open space, chasing that one down is 26 for the Wolverines. I think it was 26. Like I said, hard to tell with the black letterings on the back of the jerseys. Nice play there by Bohm. Oh, excuse me, that was Madison Travers. And over to Olivia Shea. Shea able to keep the ball in bounds, sends it up, forcing Panthers have to play it. Gannon was looking to close in on that window. And nice pass, quick touch pass there by the Panthers, going the other way with some numbers, but not too, without the effort there by Olivia Mason, able to jump in on that, keeps the ball in front. Oh, great play there. Wolverines push that inside the 50. That was number 18, that's Avery Bohm. So Avery Bohm on the left side, she's got Travers in the middle. Bohm terrific so far today. Very smart plays. Oh, nice move there. Number 16 for the Wolverines. That is the freshman Stamatakos. A lot of skill there. Reminds me of watching her brother last year. Wolverines looking inside. That ball gets by. Her brother George Stamatakos. What a player he was. Some great plays he made. He had some great one-touch passes to Ferreira, and we know Trevor Ferreira from how loud we yelled at some of those goals last year.
Yep.
Mason, good job there, keeping the ball in front of her. So some good adjustments made by Westwood. Holliston got some 2 quick looks on net. Westwood doing a good job of making those adjustments and working the ball in their favor. Stamatakos, great moves again. Mason, one-on-one battle, 50-50 battle. They're going to say infraction on the Panthers, going to be a Westwood ball. So easy to find Mason out there. She's got the bright shoes. Those always help.
Yep.
Especially when it's the Tuesday night lights. It's good to see some of the usual suspects on the field before the game. Mike Mao out there. Saw Owen Ziegler at one point walking by.
Yep.
Ball in the middle of the field. Bannister settling it. Got a couple players on her. Does a good job. Comes away with it. She's going to send it near side. Over to Bohm. Bohm looking back inside. He's looking for Shea there. That ball deflects. But Shea able to corral it. Chips it back to Mason. Some one-touch passing. Travers. Works it with the left foot. She's looking for Bannister there. Bohm jumps in to help out. That ball's going to work its way out of bounds. Official is saying that is a Panther ball. So Panther ball. Going to wait for one of the defenders to toss it, which kind of reminds me of anyone better at those throw-ins and Luke McCabe from last year?
I have yet to see, but one of the things Westwood's done really good here, tightening up in the first few minutes. First couple minutes of defensive play was a little slow to start.
Yeah.
You had 2 quick shots on goal, but since then Westwood defense
Damn
has
tacos! What a fantastic play. Sorry, Evan.
goes right to my point. Westwood defense is not allowing them to get another shot. They've only had 2 shots so far this game. So, Westwood defense starting to kind of tighten up a bit here and play that defense we know they're capable of playing.
Love the physicality there, protecting your ground there, especially when you know it's your possession. So great play there by Bohm. She has been terrific so far. Bohm is a sophomore. You got a young back line. You got Mason there on the far side, the senior captain, to bring that leadership. Travers, a junior. So, I mean, great to see some of these new names really just doing terrific work out there. The ball goes out of bounds at the 50, going to stay with Westwood. So keep an eye. Mason, great at the throw-ins. She can toss it. I remember from last year. She can finesse it and she can launch it. Shea, some nifty work, keeps it inside, advances it. Ball takes a couple ricochets. This is what soccer's all about, is these 50-50 possessions, making sure you're coming away with it. Nice move inside there. And then sending it up to Gannon on the far side, and that's going to go past the end line. That was a beautiful pass there by Madison Travers.
Well, you mentioned it too. The big thing about possession is if you look at a lot of teams that win games, oftentimes the big thing they control is the time of possession and how long you maintain possession of the ball.
Yeah.
That's key for any team in soccer, no matter who you're looking at. So, for West, right now we've seen a pretty 50-50 even, I would say. There's a lot of back and forth right now, but whichever one of these teams can maintain the possession longer will ultimately, I think, come out on top of this game.
Nice fight there by Gannon, able to advance it. Forces some tough play by the Panther defense. Back on her foot. Was looking to cross it, and it gets deflected out of bounds. So good positioning now for the Wolverines. They're inside that 20, looking to advance it towards the net. That gets deflected off. I think that was Hansen down there. And it's going to be a goal kick for Kiera Lucas, senior goalkeeper. She's got the look of a, pretty darn good goaltender. Just very athletic. We've seen her make some good adjustments so far. Hasn't been any shots on net, but very active out there. Not afraid to get outside of the net and force outside shots. We're going to get a look at a corner kick here for the Wolverines. Looks like Hansen on the kick. Good kick inside. Gannon gets a piece of it. She's going to head it towards the net. And then Lucas comes out, and then initially it bounced off her. She had to get another effort to get her hands on it and to get the possession.
Great job by Lucas maintaining there. I mean, a Westwood player, I think, actually bumped into her, and she actually lost possession there, but maintained it for Holliston.
Yes.
That's big for them, but Westwood gets the ball right back here.
Good fight there by the Wolverines. Fighting for that 50-50 battle at the logo. That was Travers. He's been terrific. Really impressed so far with the Wolverine defense. Matching some stifling defense with some explosive offense that the Panthers have. We've seen some great passes inside, but Wolverine's able to get back in the play. Mason there helping out. Gets that out of bounds. Very tactical so far by both teams. Both teams with a couple headers there. Ball on the ground. Going to try on the far side. It's going to work its way out of bounds. And it's going to be Wolverine possession. It looks like we got some of the football players now in the crowd. Love to see that. Westwood supporting Westwood. Got to spend some time with them yesterday. They are looking great so far, and it's about 10 days before they're kicking off their season, so a lot of time between their preseason with, they have another preseason game as well, I believe tomorrow.
Yep.
So, great opportunity for the Wolverines to keep sharpening up before that opening kickoff versus West Bridgewater. We're going to have an outside shot by the Panthers. That's a good look here early on, about 10 minutes in. They'll typically use their best kickers from the outside. We see them try and pick some corners. This is a nice flighted shot, saved by Bertone. Bertone, steady Eddie so far in the net, making these saves look routine. And another great kick by Bertone. Ball ends up near side. Gets through the initial defense, but Stamatakos there to get the foot on it. It's going to force Panthers to go backwards. I think I sent an open space. Gannon looking to jump on it. The goaltender coming out. Was able to get a piece of that by Bannister. Was looking to send it, but Panthers did a good job making an adjustment. Stamatakos gets a foot on it. She's going to send it far side. She does a great job of just closing that window down and then moving that ball. That's so important here in soccer is movement. You know, there's nothing that moves faster in any sport than the ball, the puck, whatever it is you play with, you know, whatever the sport is. But, you know, that's how you move faster than your opponents is advancing the ball. Gannon. Doing a good job keeping the possession in a tight area. Goes out of bounds. Official is going to say it's on Westwood. Panther ball. And we got a whistle. I think they're going to redo it. No, looks like they're going to sub a player out. I think there might have been an injury. Like one player coming in, one player coming out for the Panthers. Sometimes when you know if there's a cut or a scrape or there's blood, you need to put a bandage on, cover it up. So we see that frequently. Not sure what the call is, but it's going to be a kick. So it's a kick for the Panthers. Must have been an infraction on Westwood, to get the kick versus a throw-in.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the call was there, but like you mentioned, substitute for Holliston. I would imagine that's probably probably a cut or a scrape of some sorts, and just need to clean it. I'm sure we'll see a substitution
you see them
here quickly.
come back in pretty quickly when that happens. So Holliston with the ball. Westwood fighting for it. Gannon, no, I think that was Shea. Yeah, Shea. He's going to advance it up to Hansen. Hansen's got some space. She's got Gannon inside. She's going to slow it down. Ball deflects off a Panther player out of bounds. Going to be Wolverine ball. And Mason's going to take the throw.
And something I like what I've seen at Westwood right now is Westwood has a lot of fight. They're going in fighting for the ball. They're fighting for the possession. And that's something that you like to see from a team early on, Right, Holliston and Westwood are pretty even matched teams right now. So, the big thing is are you fighting for it? What's the energy like? And right now, Westwood still has the fight. So, good to see Hansen fighting for the ball. Good to see Gannon fighting for the ball. So
looks like first substitution for Westwood. We got Cassidy McGovern on the field, freshman. So welcome, Cassidy. First varsity regular season minutes. She's joining Stamatakos. I have a feeling we're going to see a few more freshmen in this game. But early call there for Lukash. Get some fresh legs out there. It's how you got to play against top teams. That's sometimes a difference maker.
And we're seeing the substitution now for
Holliston.
It's
chess. We got a chess match going on when you see both teams starting to make some tactical decisions with the personnel. Lucas with the kick. She's got a lower flighted kick, but gets to the 45, and Panthers working it into Westwood territory until Stamatakos sends it out of bounds right around the 50. Throw-in going to come from Claire Fitzgerald. Claire is a senior for the Panthers. Sends it up. Number 22, Kate McCarran. We've seen Kate early on in this game, had a couple good looks. Infraction going to be called on the Panthers. Westwood ball. Stamatakos going to kick it. Stamatakos is very impressive. I mean, she could very well be like the next Harper Morrison. There's a lot of confidence in the freshman. clearly plays, probably high-level club soccer in addition to, I'm sure, some town soccer, and now Westwood High School varsity soccer.
Sure, also practicing in the backyard with brother
Yeah.
George as well.
Yeah, that helps. Yeah.
So.
And now we're going to get some more substitutions. So coming on to the field for the Wolverines, see, looks like number 11. 11 is Lily Pado, so that's another freshman. And we see Charlie Jurgens on the field. Pride of the Maze, Fisher Street. So we have seen all 4 freshmen in the game so far. Terrific depth for the Wolverines, and what an addition.
I'm sure if you're Coach Lukash right now, you're probably happy to get your freshmen some playing time. Get them in and get some experience against a formidable foe. And, that's experience. We talk about that all the time, and I'm sure that's probably part of his strategy here. But also, it's good to see what they could do.
Yes.
Give them a chance. Right now we're still having that possession battle of, we're battling back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Maybe putting a young kid in to see, hey, maybe you can do something here.
McGovern on the field as well. So Pados, Stamatakos, McGovern, Jurgens on the field for the Wolverines all at the same time. Pretty cool.
I'm sure in 4 years on senior night, when these kids are graduating, this is something they'll talk to about with each other. Remember our first varsity game? We were playing together all the same time in the first half, so good to see.
Pass inside. When advancing it. Stamatakos stays in front of it. Nice placement there. Sends it ahead. Ball works towards Gannon, but kicked away by Holliston. Looking to settle it. They do, and a nice pass there. Able to advance that up to number 13, Hannah Mancuso. She's going to send it over to Kate McCarran. That ball gets out of bounds. Going to be a Wolverine ball. Does that go out the... Yeah, it's out of bounds on the side, so it'll be a throw-in. Looking to keep that ball in, and was she able to keep that in? Was McCarran? She did.
Just barely.
Impressive play. Little chip pass there by McGovern. He's battling for it. Going to send it on the far side. Unger there. Nice little tap pass there. Charlie Jurgens closing in on it. Unger gets it back. Unger, I saw in a preseason game versus Walpole, had a really impressive goal. Jurgens chips it up right back to Unger. Good connection between those two so far. Ball on the near side over to McGovern. That ball goes over the net, but a great look there. A nice little spark to the Wolverine offense with the freshman. Comboed in there with Natalie Unger, who's a very fast runner. Natalie only a sophomore, so some great underclassmen spark going on there. And you got Gannon out there still, so the present and the future out there right now.
And that's going to be big for McGovern, too, because, sure, that was your first career shot for varsity soccer right there, but that has to settle the nerves a bit. I'm sure right now all 4 freshmen, no matter what, they're nervous. This is your first varsity game, especially for Stamatakos. You're starting. Settle the nerves, get a shot on goal.
Inside, I was looking for McGovern there. Ball gets away. What happened there? Did she get a piece of it? Yeah,
she did.
It's going to be a Westwood corner kick, so interesting play here. Soccer is very unique sometimes because sometimes when we see these things happen, next play becomes a big goal.
Yeah.
So it's always like a remember that type moment. Looks like McGovern going to kick the corner for the Wolverines. She's got a bunch of Westwood players in the box, and it's a good kick heading towards the net, headed by a defender. She's going to settle it down, chips it back to Bohm. Bohm going to send it to Stamatakos. Look at that. Stamatakos able to settle it and just... Do you know how hard that is to do?
Yeah.
You got the ball to settle it when you got someone running full speed at you. To do it under pressure, but like effortless, the way that was done, that's pretty darn impressive.
It's impressive how they make it look. I know I'd be getting out of the way of any defender running at me full speed in soccer. So, but once again, Cassidy McGovern getting some meaningful minutes here and getting some meaningful plays. A couple shots on goals, the corner kick to set up a good play. Impressive play from the freshman.
So we have a whistle I think it might have been a handball on the Panthers outside the box, so it's going to be a shot from the outside. It won't be a penalty kick, but a good look here for the Wolverines. Looks like Bella Wynn going to set up. Those players look awfully close for the Panthers. Yeah, so the official going to back them up. They were like 7 yards. I don't know what the official distance has to be. Andres Castro was perfect for giving us the heads up on what those are. Inside look. Charlie Juergens chips it towards the net, and that goes wide right, but a good look there for the Wolverines. Nice little spark the last 5 minutes or so for the Wolverines, getting some good looks on offense. If you're varsity coach Brielle Chadsey, you're saying, who are these kids right now? You know, this wasn't in the the game film from last year.
No, I mean, this is the best thing this is a great thing for Coach Lukash. Use it now, know, before there's any tape on them, and people can study them.
Yeah. Use
your young players, especially if they're doing great. Charlie Juergens now getting a shot on goal. That's big for them. So 2 of the 4 freshmen have taken shots already. So this freshman class is making an impact early on here in the game as Holliston gets the ball down the field.
And Malou on defense. Got Mason coming back. Mason able to get a foot on that, able to push that ball outside. Then Juergens collects it, sends it over to Unger. We've called those 2 names a bunch so far. Feels like we've been calling it all game, but it's really been the last 7 minutes. They've been doing a good job finding each other. When you got 2 players on the same page like that, very hard to defend. Ball ends up in the hands of Sophia Bertone. And she sends it across the 50. Every boot she's had has cleared the 50. It's so big. Flips the field.
I mean, and it helps too. You can set your players up a little bit. It turns the field over, and if you get one of your players running downfield and they have the right momentum and they get there just in time, that could be a fast break for them, and they could take off, and you could have a one-on-one, maybe one-on-2 opportunity, which in soccer is pretty good.
Thrown by the Panthers. I don't want to jinx ourselves, Evan, but we haven't mixed up Panthers with or Holliston with Hopkinton, which we do at least 4 or 5 times each time we do these games, because very similar, tongue twisters.
I'm gonna have to
and Holliston.
Gonna have to add a little counter now.
Yes,
because I know it's coming
it's
eventually.
Usually, like the over/under is around 5.5.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm not counting the example I used.
No, that doesn't count.
Intended.
I'll be fair. I'll be fair.
That was intended.
But
intended. Excuse me. Ball goes vertical in traffic. Westwood chips it up ahead. Gannon was trying to send it near side, but great play there by the Wolverines. Shea jumps in, sends it up to Gannon. Gannon could make some nice moves. She forces the Panthers to defend it. It goes out the end line. Going to be a corner kick for the Wolverines. So great play there by the sophomore.
Another big opportunity here for the Wolverines. But one of the things I want to mention, too, is that I didn't talk about in my keys, is the corner kick opportunities. Yeah. Can you capitalize on those opportunities?
McGovern with the kick. Low one. It gets through the goaltender in the crease area, then kicked out by the Panthers. It was a good hard kick. Got through the hands of Lucas. And then Stamatakos kicks that out. Stamatakos, very aggressive. I like that. Keeps the ball. Instead of letting the ball advance to the 30, she's just going to get right downhill and force them to have to play it from there. Because you know what? You get a possession win, right here. You're in good territory moving that ball forward. The Wolverines fighting for the possession. Juergens comes away with it. Chips it up ahead towards Unger. Forces the Panthers to have to advance it deep in their territory. 15 minutes, 30 seconds remaining here in the first half. Both teams scoreless. Entertaining game so far here on opening night.
We're going to have some more substitutions here.
Yeah. Hansen coming back out. Bannister back out. Looks like Unger going to get a breather, and I think Charlie Juergens. So great job by those two.
They've earned a great debut for Juergens there, especially getting a shot on goal, and
ball sent up, defended there by Panthers. Gannon trying to chip it to herself. That ball takes a couple ricochets. Bannister almost came away with it. Mason jumps up in the play. gets the bench fired up. That bench is that 12th player for the Wolverines. You talked about it. I think they got a special name for the bench, energy. I think it's the Benergy. I think they call it that, where it is that difference maker in a lot of games. I think of that Oliver Ames playoff game. I know, Evan, you weren't here at the time, but one you've heard a lot about.
Yeah.
Overtime. But I just remember Westwood's bench up all night cheering on their players. When Oliver Ames, they were just freezing cold in sweatpants and just trying to stay warm. It was a lot of energy that the Wolverine bench brought to their teammates and came away with a big OT victory.
And, I didn't hear it during that Oliver Ames game. Like you said, I wasn't here, but I've definitely heard it for other games. I'll mention the Hopkinton game last year that we covered live. That's one of those games where we definitely heard the bench energy. Even playoff game against Bishop Stang last year, that was a big one. So it's always good to see the team getting involved.
Great kick.
Even when they're not on the field.
Yeah, great kick there by Stamatakos. I was going to say, let's see the boot, where you send it towards the net, and then when you kick that, all the players can advance and try and get ahead on it. That was a terrific boot. She got it there. We see Morrison do that last year. She could kick it like 60 yards, and it could be on our side, Westwood side of the 50. She could get it to the net, and it was still really good looks for Wolverine offense. She had like a 70-yard assist last year. I think it was on Gannon's first ever goal.
On the way to score your first goal, too, off of a 70-yard assist.
Highlight reel. Gannon inside. That's chipped out. Hansen. He's fighting for it on the far sideline. She forces a kick out there by Holliston. I think they're going to say it went off of, got a piece of Hansen. Panthers going to have the ball in the throw. Panthers making a couple substitutions. Coming off the field is number 5, Emma Arsenal. Then coming on the field, back on the field, Mulvaney. Ball in the middle of the field. Nice play there by McGovern. Wolverines looking to take it the other way. Stolen by Panthers. Nice move there by the defender. Shea gonna chip it up. McGovern chasing after it on the near side. Keeps it in. And Holliston gonna send it down the other end. Stamatakos, nice move. Able to, you'd figure maybe kick it out of bounds, send it back. No, she's just settled it herself and able to advance it back up 30 yards. Just a terrific move by freshman defender. Now the Wolverines going the other way. McGovern chasing after it. Kicked out of bounds, forced a kick out there by Holliston. Back and forth we go. Avery Bohm to McGovern. McGovern looking to the middle of the field, has space there. As Travers. Holliston player lost the footing there, and then a slide tackle. And that's going to be a Westwood ball. And this is going to be a good look for the Wolverines. I mean, after that kick we just saw from Stamatakos, is she going to kick it, or are they going to have Travers? And you got Hansen there, too. So it looks like it's going to be a kick from Travers, which is a good look. You get that in the box and get a head on it. Very tough to defend. And it is a good boot. Heading towards the net. Lucas with the save. A nice kick there. A lot of times we see that type of kick sneak its way inside the pole, under the crossbar. Well defended there. You know who was so good at like those getting up, and getting a head on it was Calawa.
Yep.
She's so good. She had a couple goals just from corner kicks. McGovern jumps in on a loose ball. She's looking to center it, and that goes out of bounds. Going to be a corner kick for the Wolverines. Got to be about their 4th so far, and she's shown a great kick off the corners. So a good opportunity here.
And the big thing about McGovern right there is that ball could have easily gotten to Holliston's possession, but McGovern hustled, got there, got the play, and instead of having an opportunity where you've turned the ball over to Holliston, you now have an opportunity for a corner kick, which is big. She turned nothing into something.
Yep.
And a positive for the team.
Kick from McGovern. It's a good one. It's high. A head on it. Into the back of the net. Olivia Shea scores the first goal for the Wolverines on a beautiful header from the corner from Cassidy McGovern. Oh, Cassidy McGovern with her first official point as a Wolverine on the assist from the corner kick. And a goal by Olivia Shea. That's what we're talking about, you know. And Olivia Shea so similar to Hannah Kalawa. Similar games. They play basically the same position. And Wolverines on the board, 1-0 off a header from Shea.
And, you know, that's an assist from McGovern, but I think we should give it an assist plus, because if it wasn't for that play in the beginning, that set up by McGovern, fighting for the ball, you're not in that position where you get your first goal. So what a play from McGovern, but what a play from
Olivia Shea.
Olivia Shea, thank you. I'm sorry, I got confused there for a second. Olivia Shea as well. And Westwood fighting back with the ball again. They're not letting off the gas here.
Yeah, you know what I like there is the first couple corners we saw from her were like low, powerful ones. You know, one of them went through the goalie's arms. Ball is going to get past both Panther players and Westwood players, and Bertone going to play it. So the first couple were like low. That one was high. That one went, you know, that one was kind of in flight where the back bar was. And that was well-positioned, well-timed, well-executed kick. And we've said that, you know, when you see these plays happen, you say, remember that play because they might score on this opportunity, and they did.
Offensive opportunities, that's the thing we talked about, is the key to the game. Are you getting more shots? And right now, Westwood is in control of the amount of shots they've taken in this game. They have outpaced Holliston on the number of shots. You know, we've seen a lot of activity, and it's only a matter of time before one of those shots goes in, especially with a good goaltender as well.
Holliston going to make a substitution. 8 minutes, 20 seconds remaining here in the first half. And as you mentioned, certainly rusty, but I think they stop it at 2 minutes in the first half, and they have like a stoppage time there, and then 5 minutes in the second half. We'll see when we get there. Ball back to Stamatakos. I don't think she's coming off the field.
No, I don't. I think, you know, she's had a great first half so far in her debut, and you know, that's what you look for if you're coach. Hey, if talent comes from anywhere, you know, earn your opportunity, and Stamatakos has proven why she's on the field right now.
Yeah. Also, doesn't look tired,
no.
You know, so, I mean, when you have that stamina, it's a huge advantage. I mean, it's also crushing when you're the other team and you're like, you got this defender who's just out there everywhere and doesn't even look like they're getting a sweat out there.
Yeah.
Bertone comes out and gets it. Westwood doing a good job of forcing some, you know, aggressive feeds, which ball gets through and goes right to Bertone. Able to kick that ball the other way. Good look inside. Looking for Hansen. No, it was actually Hansen looking for, I think, Bannister. Had that backwards. But it was a good look. I like those looks. You got some good athletes, send it into some space.
Yeah.
Especially when you got a speedster and Bannister, 100-yard dash runner. I think she does winter track too, so she's got a lot of reps in the offseason, picking up the speeds. So Hansen is coming off, Bella Wen coming on. So strategic push here with the last 6 minutes, some fresh legs. You know, we always talk about the vulnerable minute in hockey.
Yep.
And this is kind of that moment in soccer, is if you can get a late goal, that can be, you know, it can be exciting for the team that scores it and deflating for the team who gets it scored upon them.
And soccer is one of those sports where 1-0 games are very common. That's something that's still not very unusual. So if you're Westwood and you can come out with a 2-0 lead here in the first half, that is deflating for Holliston.
Stamatakos makes a beautiful move to be able to get the possession and then move the ball. Not just keep the possession, but the Wolverines move the ball and they're going the other way. Wen setting it up, looking for Gannon. That ball gets by, and Lucas going to pick that up. Looking to change the pace, but Shea jumps up in the play. Close that window. Keeps the possession, or gets the possession for the Wolverines. Gannon. Back to Wen. Wen with a nice move. Senior leadership. Moving that ball up, looking inside. Kicked out by Holliston. It's going to work its way near side over to a freshman, McGovern. Sends it back to Avery Bohm. A little pinball goes on. Stamatakos able to settle it. Moves that up to McGovern. McGovern, little inside chip, looking for Gannon. Forced outside, out of bounds by the Panthers. Wolverines doubling down on this pressure.
Now inside 5 minutes here at Flay High Field. And like you said, Westwood's just moving a little quicker here. They have a little more pep in their step. They're keeping their foot on the gas, and that's big.
They're getting more and more confidence, one possession at a time. Ball knocked away from Stamatakos. Forces a hard pass, but that goes off the foot of McCarron, and then Bertone picks it up. So, I mean, the Wolverines able to get right back in the play when you think Holliston might have an advantage or a step. You got great athleticism to get right back in the play and force challenging passes, which are really really in Westwood's favor to be able to get a loose ball. And they did there. Ball goes over Mason's head. Lou plays it and gets by and picked up by Bertone. So the aggressiveness helps out. It really allows for, you're forcing the other team to be perfect.
Yeah.
Big boot by Bertone. Another one across the 50. Flips the field. Flips the field quickly, too. And that ball, in a matter of like 20 seconds, is now inside the 5-yard line. So what a play. What an advantage you have. And Chilangua can do the same.
Yeah.
So some substitutions coming now. Looks like Unger is coming on the field, swapping in for, I think it might be Bannister.
I don't have a great look.
But going to be a throw-in. Olivia Mason going to throw it in inside right around the 5-yard line. Is it inside? That goes over the head of McGovern. Gannon gets a foot on it. Loose ball. Lucas comes out and gets the hands on it and gains the possession. So a nice play there by senior goalkeeper for Holliston. You got to be aggressive in those moments, especially loose balls and space. Goaltenders have that advantage of being able to get their hands on it.
And especially right now, too. If you're Holliston, the big thing is can you get the possession back and maybe get, we talked about Westwood getting a goal for their advantage, but can you get Holliston get a goal to even the game out before the end of the first here and, go back into the game tied up and, momentum's pretty even and kill some of that Westwood momentum. So, good on Lucas fighting for the ball there. A bit of a risky play, but it paid off.
Great fight there by McGovern, able to get the possession. Wolverines have it, looking to go the other way. Wen going to send it down the near sideline. McGovern chasing it down. That's going to go out of bounds, but great 50-50 battles going on by the Wolverines. They're not quitting out there and making sure that they're doing everything they can to get that ball back on their foot and get it back inside Panther territory. So, I don't know what's going on here. I think a substitution going on for the Panthers. We are at stoppage time now for the first half. I don't think there's going to be much more than 2 minutes. There wasn't really much stoppage outside of just the goal, so maybe, a minute. So we'll see.
A minute, maybe two. We did have one quick pause,
That's true,
pause for the potential injury, so looking at a minute, maybe two tops.
Stamatakos keeps the ball in front. She's getting held, and we do get a whistle from the far side official. Going to be a Westwood ball. Well, she was held there. Going to get a kick. She's got a good boot, so she could move this ball up. Maybe the last possession of the half.
Can you make something out of this here?
Yeah. They typically let them they let the continuations go, even if it's like, maybe a minute extra time. Like if you're moving the ball, I remember Andre saying that they'll allow it to play out. That ball taken by the Panthers.
Oh, and they're going to
whistle. What do we got?
I believe that might be offside. Or out of bounds?
It's got to be out of bounds because it was called by the near side official who was down here, so she must have stepped.
Say that would be a weird offsides call because she had already had possession.
She was very surprised by it too, so she knew she was onside. And that is going to do it for the first half. So a very entertaining first half. Westwood up 1-0 off a goal by Olivia Shea from a corner kick by freshman Cassidy McGovern, who got her first official varsity point. And puts the Wolverines up 1-0 versus a very good Holliston Panther team that knocked them out of the playoffs last year. That was a high seed last year. So this is going to be a great second half opportunity for Westwood to see how can you play with a lead.
Yep.
You know, and what do? You don't want to fall back and, just say, hey, we're good. No, you got to go out there and attack.
Yep.
And I think we're going to see that, especially with those substitutions. When you're getting fresh legs out there, you're also getting, players who are anxiously waiting to get involved. And you saw that. I mean, right off the bat, when we saw the freshman coming in, McGovern was a difference maker. I mean, with the corner kicks, but so was Juergens and Unger, those two connecting with each other. And like I said, what a presence on the back line Stamatakos is.
Yeah,
Incredible.
I mean, Stamatakos has had a great breakout game already, and McGovern as well. And the thing, too, is that when you have these players who are coming in and swinging that momentum for you, that fires up the rest of the team. The first probably 15 minutes of this game were kind of back and forth, and you can attribute that to a lot. It's the first varsity game, regular season game of the year. It's the first in general sports games of the year, so everyone's kind of a little rusty, getting back into it. It just takes one piece of momentum to swing in your favor, and you see the effects. Westwood started getting more and more and more opportunities. They started getting more and more defensive turnovers, led by Stamatakos, led by McGovern on offense. So, it's crucial for the team to get some of that momentum early on, and they did. And now we're looking at a 1-0 lead as Westwood looks to maintain. And if you're Holliston, a lot of things too is Holliston's kind of been answering to Westwood. Yeah. Coach Lukash right now is playing chess, and he's making the first move. He's making these moves, and you see Holliston responding, especially when it comes to substitutions. But that's it. Westwood's in the driver's seat right now, and that's where they want to be. I know that's where they want to be as a team in general, and right now they have it.
Absolutely. So I think we'll take a quick break. We hadn't had any breaks really throughout the first half.
No, it's pretty quick.
But to hear from our sponsors, and I want to give a shout out. Who do we got for this month, Evan?
This month is Arch Orthodontics. So for the month of September, thank you to Arch, and
absolutely.
We'll thank Neroli as well, who's just joined on for their support as well. But you'll be hearing their names called throughout the year here in Westwood Media Center, and we're excited for their partnership. We're excited for our partnerships with them.
Absolutely. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll hear from Arch and our sponsors, and we will be right back for the start of the second half.
Nothing in sports happens without commitment. You have to commit to prepare. You have to commit to compete. And when the game is on the line, you have to commit to making a decision and trust your preparation. The same is true when it comes to orthodontics. When you commit to improving your smile, you're making a commitment to a better life. Your mouth is the front door to your health. And who doesn't love showing off a beautiful smile when you're celebrating with friends and teammates? Arch Orthodontics is committed to you and being part of creating an even better you. When you're ready to commit, you know who to call.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care. And Neroli Ristorante, authentically Italian.
Welcome back, folks. We're about ready to kick off the second half. Wolverines up 1-0. It was a very entertaining first half, as we were mentioning just before the close. But interested to see kind of what's the dynamic here in the second half for the Wolverines. You got a 1-goal lead versus a team that, kind of had your number last year. And, this already looks like a different Westwood team, but kind of the mental part of that too. How do you play with a 1-goal lead? Do you double down on the aggressive offense and, the defense to add to that? And I'd imagine we'll see more of that.
Yeah, I would imagine Westwood's going to stay aggressive here. The big thing is going to be defense. We talked about it in the pregame, and having that defensive sort of mind, and can you continue to stop Holliston? I think that's going to be the bigger key here for Westwood now that the offensive opportunities are coming and they're getting them. But for Westwood now, stepping up on defense and keeping that 0 on the scoreboard right now.
Mm-hmm. So Westwood going to have the possession to start off the second half. And right to work they go. They're going to send it up the far side. Bannister chasing after it, goes out of bounds. Now it's even more difficult to see the numbers. So we might mix up a couple players, but pretty sure it's Bannister on the far side. I saw Hanson in the middle. I usually mix them up because the numbers look similar with 15, 19. Ball at the 50. Bannister battling for it. Chad Hanson helping. It goes out. Stay with Holliston. Throw in. That ball kicked up by Travers. Played by Bohm. Bohm doing a good job. Holding her ground. Kicks it over to Travers. Travers in the middle of the field. Going to chip it our way. Goes off the Panther player. Heading towards out of bounds line. She keeps it in. Great job there. That was number 1. Very impressive play by Claire Fitzgerald. It's like tightrope walking, you know, trying to keep that ball in bounds. Ball in the middle of the field. Kate McCarron sends it up. Lou with a nice play. Keeps that ball in front. Lou's going to advance it. Kick back towards Westwood's end by Panthers. Stamatako sends it up to Wen. Wen with a header finds Gannon. Gannon looking inside for Bannister. Bannister makes a nice move. Keeps the possession. Gets 2 players closing in on her. Chips it over to Wen. Wen does a great job in tight areas to find angles, space, and you know, teammates for good looks. That ball goes out of bounds. Going to be a Panther ball. So 3 minutes in already here in the second half. Evan Cardomino on camera and microphone. Morgan Donahue here. Westwood Media Center coverage of Westwood girls soccer. Ball goes out of bounds. Going to redo it. A nice play there by the ref. Able to a little one touch. Kick that ball up to the Panther player. Throws it in. Headed out of bounds by Wen. Active ball girls today. A lot of out of bounds ball. They've done a terrific job running, getting a new ball out there, and then chasing down the outgoing ball to be ready. Out on Westwood, throw for Holliston. And out on Westwood again. Westwood doing a good job of not letting that ball get much further downfield. That one goes out of bounds. Mason's yeah, it's a Westwood ball. So Mason's gonna pick it up.
So we've seen a lot of out of bounds balls for the second half so far.
So throw in by Mason. Played by Gannon, and I didn't see any mark by the official, but Westwood just picks it up.
You know,
ball.
But the thing about that too is you have that sequence of, like, you know, out of bounds, out of bounds, out of bounds. It's aggressive. The girls are going for the ball. They're fighting for it. They're trying to get there. And you know, when you see back to back to back out of bounds, you know, oftentimes it's because there's 4 or 5 players there and they're fighting for that ball and it goes off of someone's foot and it just happens to go out of bounds. So. You know, both these teams are fighting now. They're trying to play aggressive here.
Yep. Inside pass. Bertone comes out, gets the hands on it. Great play by Sophia Bertone.
Great save by Bertone there.
That was an absolutely well-anticipated save there by Bertone. It was a crossing attempt. Came out, put the hands on it, and no fumble. Clean catch, or a clean stop off the hands. A lot of times we see that in games. These balls, you know, bouncing off the hands. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
You know? Westwood bench, they are in mid-season form right now, cheering on their teammates, very vocal. Bannister able to advance that. We get a whistle. I think it may be a infraction. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I think Bannister was tripped up there
Yeah.
as it was going out of bounds. So
Yeah, so it's going to be a Westwood kick. It's not a throw, and it's going to be a good angle where Westwood could certainly get it in the box. I don't know who's going to kick it. It looks like,
I would imagine you're going to see probably a pass here.
I don't know. We've seen some boots. There's a
Yeah.
boot. There's a boot. Gets right around the 15. Both teams battling for it, and then sent out by Holliston. Goes out of on Westwood, and Panthers going to have the ball right around the 45. So great defense there to thwart that attack by the Wolverines off the free possession. Get a whistle. It's going to be on Westwood. Ball in open space. Great defense there. Shea. As we mentioned, I mean, we talked about it in the opening, but also the season preview, how responsible she is as a player. She plays the whole field.
And
That ball is going to be a goal kick. A great effort there. I think it was it Unger chasing it down on the far end? She almost caught up to the defender to make it a battle. A low kick by Lucas. Ball chipped into Westwood territory by the Panthers. Great defense there by Westwood standing ground. A great effort there.
And that's going to be another infraction, I believe, on Holliston, and it's going to go to Westwood here.
I think that was Lou on the far end. Great battle. Lou is a senior for the Wolverines. She was in the mix last year. Rotated in when you had, all those senior defenders last year with Audrey Lake and Harper Morrison. You had Mason out on the side, Ferreira too. So it was a tough lineup to break, but she was still finding her way in games. Brings some great senior leadership on the back end for the Wolverines. Ball deep in Westwood territory. Westwood keeping a perimeter. Panthers looking to cross, and that ball gets out of bounds. Going to be Westwood kick. So great defense. Wolverines holding tough there. Nothing to see there for any crossers. Force Panthers to kick it through the end zone.
And this is what you want to see if you're Coach Lukash. Good defense. That defense getting good play. You're not forcing a corner kick. You're getting goal kick. You're getting in good positions and preventing any opportunities for Holliston. And honestly, that's the big thing for Westwood right now. Prevent those opportunities and keep them limited.
Panthers on the far end. A little battle there is.
And that's
going to be a goal kick. So it was a nice kind of battle there. It looked like, I think that was Bohm. Forced a goal kick. I mean, that could have been a corner kick.
That almost was close, Morgan, to even, you could have had a penalty
foul,
kick.
Yeah,
I mean, that was
it was physicality there.
It was close.
Look, if you're standing your ground and you're not like, you're not infracting upon your opponent. That was a send attempt. Bertone comes out to get it.
We're now starting to see Holliston put on the pressure here on Westwood defensively. They're starting to get those opportunities.
There's a physical play there.
And they're looking for it.
Down. Gannon looking inside to Hansen. He's got Bannister behind her. He's going to send it back to Gannon. Gannon on a centering attempt, saved by Lucas.
Nice sort of offensive pass progression there. You had a couple good looks. just not quite for Gannon. But honestly, that's what you want to see out of your offense. Can you set up those plays like that and get those opportunities like that? That's how you want to be scoring goals. Clean passing, good passing, efficient passing. And to see them doing that early is good. It's a good sign.
Wen looking inside. She's going to send it towards the net, and that goes wide right. I like that, Throw some on net. We said that last year. I said, hey, start throwing some on net. Preety did it, and I think the opening game, and scored a big one.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing, too, is like, Holliston right now has been getting a lot of good looks on net, a lot of shots on net. They've been kind of controlling that here in the second half. If you're Westwood, getting couple of your own shots on net can help swing the momentum back to you and help, sort of stop that, switch it. Now put the pressure on Holliston. Holliston's been doing a good job of putting pressure on you, but can you turn it around on them now?
Wolverine's going to work it back to Bertone. Bertone kicking it near side, in open space. Ball goes out around the 40. Gannon gets a foot on it, goes out of bounds. Going to stay with the Panthers. The ball in near side. Mason kicks out, and they're going to say, yeah, it's out on Mason. So Panthers going to have that possession right around the 15. Wolverines answering every Panther attempt so far. Ball squirts through, kicked out by Stamatakos. Nice clear there. She's been in the right place at the right time. Gonna try and move it up the far side. Bannister forcing it outside. There was also some good help there by Shea, and they force a goal kick. So, I mean, Wolverines starting to frustrate the Panthers with some of these, kicks, just trying to create something, but nothing there.
I mean, this is the big thing we wanted to see out of Westwood tonight. Defense. Can you frustrate them? Can you slow them down? Can you continue to do what you've done in years past? And so far, this young Westwood defense has stepped up to the call.
Nice play there by the Panthers, able to keep that ball in front, but Shea able to get the possession. Hansen kicks it over to Bannister. She's got Gannon on the near side. Gannon with some space. Gannon working it up. Has a couple players coming into the play. Forces the Panthers to kick it out the far side. I believe Unger on the far side. She falls. We got to get a whistle. Going to be Westwood kick in a great area. So Westwood going to have a kick right around the 15. Able to get some of their players. They're going to work some of their defenders in there in the box area too. Get extra couple of players, but yeah, okay, I was like, what's going on there? It was a throw-in, but it was just a throw to set up the kick. So, yeah, they're going to get a couple extra players up front. This is a good-looking kick heading towards the box, and Lucas gets the mitts on it. Another good look for the Wolverines. It also takes valuable time off the clock.
Yeah, at a certain point, too, the big thing for the Wolverines is going to switch from trying to score a second goal to keep that lead to can you play time management? Can you run out that clock? It's hard to score a goal in soccer to begin with. Ooh.
Oh, I love the effort there. I think it was Hansen. Yeah, Hansen chasing after a loose ball. Lucas was just trying to kind of advance it, but Hansen closed that window down, and that could have been that could have been a big play for Westwood if she able to keep that ball in play and get a quick shot on net.
I'm sure if you're Westwood too, you do want to get a second goal and pad that lead. And
yeah, you want to close out the game, and that's part of closing the game. Big kick there by Shea, saved by Lucas. That's the thing too, that ball was high and flighted. The other thing too is when you're dealing with the sun in your eyes early, you're now dealing with lights. When you get a ball directly in the lights,
that's
very
hard to
difficult to pick up sometimes. I mean, that's why you see some visors, football players at night. You'll even see eye black sometimes at night just to help with if you get one directly in the lights.
I mean, we even saw that too last year in the Bannister to Gannon goal. That one, it was a high arching kick, and it landed down just in front of Bannister. But the problem is the goalie for Hopkinton in that game, is looking up and is trying to find the ball to catch it, and
Yeah.
you just misguide it by just that much, and you can see how that turns from a save to a goal real quick, especially if you're fighting the lights at night. And that's what both goalies now are having to deal with here at Flayhive. It's not just, early on in the game, Bertone had the advantage being in the shade, but now they're both dealing with this.
Mason with the throw. Looking for Wen. Shea jumps on it. Moves that ball inside the 30. Force the Panthers to work it up the far side. They're looking up the middle and they find a player. They find Kate McCarron. Westwood regains the possession. Stamatakos. A nice connection with Travers. Ooh, physical play there.
That's probably going to be
That's going to be an infraction on Westwood.
Yep.
I don't see a card, so it looks like just a.
I will say the one
whistle
thing,
and
the
a possession.
refs have been pretty good. They haven't thrown the cards yet.
No.
We haven't seen a yellow card tonight. We've seen a few infractions like that, but I don't think anything too egregious tonight. I don't think we've seen any
No.
We haven't seen anything that's like, oh, I don't,
Nothing not glaringly obvious.
Right. So I think the refs are gonna, they don't. I think we talked to Anders last year too. They don't really want to give that
No.
yellow card. They don't want to. That's more.
You
of
got to
a-
earn it.
Right. So.
Catherine Hancock earned it in her last. I think she had a slide tackle or something. And
Right. And we
it's
haven't.
one way to end your career. It looks like we got a bus rolling in. I think it's the boys soccer team, and they are loud. Sounds like might have been a win on their end.
We'll have to check the score in a second
Yeah.
here. Oh.
They are. Gannon in space. Some contact
A rough-
with Lucas. Gannon back up. Ball gets kicked, deflected in the far side. I think the boys are helping there with some momentum.
That's the crowd there.
Yeah.
Crowd getting into it. Helps
Long-
when you have the boys on the bus.
Long bus ride from Holliston, about 40 minutes. Down,
Hey.
109.
While we're talking about commutes, I'll give a kudos to the Holliston fans. There's a good section of them below us
Yeah.
here at the booth, which is always fun to have visiting fans come and,
yeah.
like to see traveling to support their teams. I know the Den does that really well. The Den loves to travel to support their teams, so.
Lou settles it. Sends it over to Bohm. That ball kicked out of bounds. Going to be a Wolverine ball. So I haven't seen any substitutions in the second half like we saw in the first half. So Coach Seth Lukash going to go with the leadership. Pass up on the far side, intercepted by Panthers. Good defense there by Stamatakos. Kicks that out of bounds. What a presence.
And what an impact early on for Stamatakos, too.
She's been on the field the whole game. So a big throw in here for the Panthers. 21 minutes remaining here in the game in regulation.
So, Morgan, I also have a score update for you from Holliston.
Yes.
Now in Westwood. Westwood took a opening day win,
There we
3-2
go.
over the Holliston Panthers.
Big win for the boys.
So it
And
makes
that's a
sense
big,
why.
that's a big team to beat, too.
Yeah, it makes sense why they're coming home fired up.
They
and
are fired up.
hoping to bring some of that energy to the girls, help them close out, and have a good starting opening day for the Wolverines.
Yes.
And I'm sure they're excited about their next matchup here home at Thursday for their home opener.
Yeah.
I believe against Norwood. Don't quote me on that, but
Oh, and we get an infraction. It's going to be on Westwood. Panthers going to have the ball at the 45. I imagine we'll probably see some of the Westwood boys players trickle their way over here to cheer on their counterparts.
and also a great start for Coach Josh Mitchell, his first regular
Yes.
season game,
Congrats.
coming out with a win over Holliston. That's a great way to start your career here at Westwood High School. So congrats to him and the team for opening day win, and we're excited to see them here Thursday
Yes.
playing Norwood. Confirmed the girls will be in Norwood.
Yeah.
Boys will be home, and Friday we'll be seeing Westwood Volleyball playing Norwood as well, which we'll be there to cover for. So
Always
exciting
fun.
opening week here at 200 Manhattan.
Going to be a free kick from just inside the 30. Well defended by Westwood. Wen going to get a foot on it. Just going to send it up. Just missed Hansen there on the pass. But layered defense by the Wolverines, making it so difficult for positive movement by the Panthers. But they're going to get a kick here, right around the 25-yard line. So a good look coming up for the Panthers. Their infraction called there on the Wolverines.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot more infractions being called later here. It's
Yeah.
starting to get a little more physical, but
It
that's,
is,
you
yeah.
know, it's starting to become do or die time. And, you know, both teams know that, and they're fighting, and Holliston's still in this, and they're getting some good opportunities here. So, you know, this game is far from over.
So good kick there by the Panthers. That's going to go over the net, but that was a great look. That was probably the best look of the second half so far.
That's one of those ones that almost kind of scared me while I was midair because, you know, you look at it and it's like that might just have the angle to just sneak in, but it just goes a hair over there.
Substitutions coming on for the Wolverines, so here we go. The Wolverines getting some fresh legs out there.
And this is that game of chess, too. Who do you take off? Who do you take on? You know, are you taking off your senior captains like Hansen? Or no, if so, are you giving her just a couple minutes of rest before she goes back in for this final push? That's what I would imagine the strategy
Travers,
is.
great play, going to send it up the field. Gannon chasing after it. Forces a kick out of bounds. So, nice spark there immediately after the possessions. We had a whistle, though. See what was going on.
See it.
It was a foul on Westwood, they're going to say.
Yeah.
It was behind the play, and it's going to be a Panther ball. So it was called by the far side official. He saw something that didn't like. Going to be a Panther ball inside the 15. Inside 18 minutes left. They have 5 minutes of stoppage time. Unger, nice play. Moves so well with the ball. Was looking to center that over to Travers. And then ball picked up by Lucas.
You know, Maury, one of the things that we haven't seen this so far in this second half here is I don't think we've seen a corner yet. Maybe one.
I think you're right. It's been well defended. And there we go. Prediction confirmed. We got the boys here cheering on the girls after their big 3-2 win, and they are grabbing a seat on the bench.
Getting a front row seat for some Westwood sports, and
they got over here pretty quickly.
They did.
They knew. They saw the scoreboard. You know, 20. I think it was 21 minutes. We have a quick stoppage, so we're going to take a quick break, folks, and we'll be right back after a message from our sponsors.
Nothing in sports happens without commitment. You have to commit to prepare. You have to commit to compete. And when the game is on the line, you have to commit to making a decision and trust your preparation. The same is true when it comes to orthodontics. When you commit to improving your smile, you're making a commitment to a better life. Your mouth is the front door to your health. And who doesn't love showing off a beautiful smile when you're celebrating with friends and teammates? Arch Orthodontics is committed to you and being part of creating an even better you. When you're ready to commit, you know who to call.
Westwood High School Sports brought to you by Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care. And Neroli Ristorante, authentically Italian.
Welcome back, folks. Looks like an injury to, I think it was Stamatakos, which she's been a big part in this game. She's been a terrific defender in the middle, just shutting down every opportunity. She does a great job of settling that ball. It's not just keeping the possession for the Wolverines, but she advances it. You know, just when you think, okay, ball's going to go out of bounds, we'll play from there. No, she keeps the possession and moves it forward, turns it into offense, and really, as Coach Lucas says, flips the field.
But Morgan,
It was a jump ball. That was an interesting play.
Keeping a look on the sideline right now, though, I do see Stamatakos moving and jogging a little bit. So might have been just a quick, you know, knock the wind out of you, and you're not just expecting it. That's very common in soccer, especially when you're going 80 minutes.
A nutmeg there, and then a physical play. Got to be a Westwood ball. Unger went down. And Good look now for the Wolverines. So that's spark right off the bench. You know, having some fresh legs brings a nice little spark to the Wolverine offense. It's going to be kicked by Travers. And it's a good-looking kick. Works its way into the box, gets headed, and then advances into the arms of Lucas. So nice look there. Lucas. To Mason. Mason advances it forward. Gannon was trying to chase that, but that was chipped by the defender. And Panthers coming away with it. Lou gets a foot on it, but Panthers able to continue to advance it. Looking for a shot outside. Blocked by Wolverine defender. That was blocked by Wen. Great play there by the senior captain. And that's what you need to do. Block shots are huge.
Yeah.
Be able to help your goaltender out. Get a foot on a shot from the outside, and ball ends up in the hands of Bertone, and then boom, the other way. Flips the field. Unger chasing after it. She gets by the defender. She's got some space. She's looking inside to Gannon. Lucas comes out, gets the hands on it, makes a nice play.
Great anticipation by Lucas there, but what a pass by Unger. That's exactly the type of play you want to see. Go to the outside, set it up, and try to find one of your... I know, she had put on the afterburners too for that.
Great speed, but Evan, it all started from the boot by Bertone.
Yep.
Bertone flips that field with that boot. She got it all the way down to the 30. Unger with a nice athletic move to advance it and then chase after it in open space and get a great look. So some fresh legs coming back on for the Wolverines. It looks like we have Bannister and Hansen back on the field. So senior leadership back on the field.
And this goes back to that strategy we talked about with Coach Lukash, you know, resting Bannister, resting Hansen, and as a result, you know, setting them up to have a strong last 15 minutes here at the end of the game, you know, finish strong.
Stamatako's back out there. Love to see it.
Good to see, too.
Bannister only a junior, so senior leadership in Hansen, but upper class leadership in Bannister here in the last 14 minutes. But that was a nice, you know, break for them to get a breather. Not only did they get a breather, but Westwood got some good looks on offense. Yeah. Such an advantage to have.
And like you said, too, good to have Stamatakos back out there. Has been key on defense all day, and that's going to be big, especially here with a 1-0
we got
lead.
some room here. Looks like McGovern. She's got some space. Looking to shoot. Saved by Lucas.
That's going to be a corner, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
But what a look by McGovern.
Yeah. That was a great pass. McGovern able to get there in open space, and Lucas did a good job coming right out to force a shot and gets a piece of it, goes out of bounds.
Thought we were about to have our first save on the top 10 moments of 2025-26 for the Wolverine report there for a second. That was looking like a great first career goal.
So Hansen with the corner. Inside, just goes by a couple players, still in the box, and then kicked out by the Panthers. Stamatakos with a couple nice moves, creates some space looking inside. I think that might be offside, and I believe it is, but goes out of bounds regardless. It was a nice look to Gannon. What a play. She got that, made two nice moves to thread the needle, too. A goal kick for the Panthers. That ball kicked out of bounds. Right back in play, kicked back out of bounds.
It's going to be Westwood
possession. It's a Westwood ball, yeah. And chipped up in the middle. Hansen trying to find Wen there. Stolen by the Panthers. Stamatakos closing the door on the far side. Kicks it out of bounds there. That's an underrated play, though. You kick that out, and you're allowing your players to come back on defense. So, you know, if the other team has an extra player, now they don't. You got all your players back accounted for to get right back in that layered defense. Panthers looking inside. Lou gets a foot on it, sends it up. Gannon has some space. She's got a defender on her. She's going to use the angles, trying to get around. And she hits the ground, and it's going to be a Wolverine ball. Going to be a free kick at the 15, which will be a good look for the Wolverines. here with just under 12 minutes remaining. The second half and in the game. So who's going to get the boot here? Who's going to get the kick?
Looks like it's going to be...
I think it's going to be Travers. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's had a good one. They got a bunch of players who can do it, so I think she's been off to a great start. You also got Bella Wen off to the right, so see what they do. Do they go with the pass and look for another angle? We'll see.
Lucky for Holliston there, too, that the trip was called a few yards back, because a few yards further, and that's a penalty kick there.
Totally, yeah.
So lucky break for them.
Kick outside from McGovern, and that is going to go through the uprights and going to be a goal kick.
But no, that's a close trip there, and as a result, that actually benefits Holliston. You stop a potential breakout from Gannon, and you get the ball back. So it's a penalty that's kind of a risky, but it does pay off for Holliston there.
Lucas up the middle finds number 7 Ellie Grandforce, and then Stamatakos jumps right in on the pass, keeps that ball inside the 50. Forcing Holliston to play it back. So aggressive on the D, there's just nowhere to go. 50-50 battle going on there on the far side. It was Gannon. The Panthers looking to send it up on the far side. That ball's going to go out of bounds. And Bohm's going to have the throw-in. Finds Travers. Travers going to chip it in the middle. Some open space there. Gannon looking to get it. Sends it outside. Has Hansen. Hansen with a shot on net. Off the post. Loose. Still loose in the box area. And Lucas gets the gloves on it, but ball hits the turf. Gannon sends it back to McGovern. Hot potato.
What a sequence there. We
Yes.
almost...
Hansen chips it. Goes on the far side, Bohm. Bohm jumps up on the play, makes a nice move, gets inside towards the net, chipped, and then off the foot of, I believe, Gannon. We saw her score a goal like that versus Bishop Stang. Just throw it towards her. She can, chip it anywhere if it's, kind of below the shoulders. And good look there. Inside 10 minutes now.
This is where time management comes in, too, for Westwood. If you get another goal here, great. You're keeping the offensive pressure. It'd be great to get one to go out with a bang. But if not, big thing is maintaining possession, starting to run that clock down. We still have stoppage time to deal with as well, so that tacks on another 5 minutes that we're going to be looking at.
Look in the middle. That ball's going to get by. But we've said this in multiple different sports, but Holliston's got to go up against Westwood in the clock right now. You're inside 10 minutes, 8 minutes, 42 seconds left in the game. Wolverines up 1-0 off the head of Olivia Shea. Mason, she gets tripped up. Gets the vocal sideline from the boys soccer team.
The boys want a yellow card, and
it's going to be a Holliston ball.
What?
It looks like the far side official is the one making the call. Did he overrule it? I don't know what it is. We'll have to check the replay. I mean, it seemed pretty obvious.
I was going to say not to take a stand, but...
It seemed pretty obvious.
The Westwood player was in front of the Holliston player, and, both fell down, but I would imagine it's a push, but...
Well, Olivia Mason got tripped from behind. I mean, you can't make an infraction if you don't see the player.
No, and another infraction on Westwood. I'm a little
confused.
Yeah. But
so they're going to be an outside kick on the 30 for the Panthers. Loading up the box area. Player on player. That's a good-looking kick. Gets over the head of both teams, and that's going to go out of bounds. Going to be a goal kick. So Westwood able to get through that, and they'll have a goal kick from Bertone.
Yeah, the big thing for Westwood here too is you just want to keep it clean the next 7 minutes and 5 seconds. Try not to get up any infractions. Try not to create those opportunities. It's going to be a physical match, but essentially for the next 6 minutes, you're playing keep away. And you want to make sure you don't have any costly infractions that gives Holliston the opportunity. That's the big thing. You got to play physical, but you also have to play smart.
Panthers come away with the ball. Left kick. Tracking goes wide right. Goes off the foot of Kate McCarran, sophomore. She's been very impressive. Great athlete there for the Panthers.
A good look for McCarran too, and the ball had actually a nice curve on it. It was just a little too wide right there for the goal. But honestly, it was a good kick and a good opportunity for Holliston to add one to the tally.
I think you were the first one.
I was. I actually almost a couple minutes ago I almost said it as well, and we've been pretty good this.
You caught yourself.
I did. I caught myself the first time, and you didn't notice. I was going to shut up about it, but no. But for Holliston,
Stamatakos chips it out. When there to help out. Keep that wall up. Ball bounces back inside. Stamatakos again all over the defense. She's been terrific. And they're going to set it up to Gannon, and she is offside.
Yep.
So offside called right around the 40 on the near side official. She's going to get one, though. I mean, Westwood keeps doing a good job, and Holliston's kind of forcing another extra, a player or two more in the box where it's going to allow for open field and a Westwood player to be able to maybe put another ball in the net.
It was a good look, good opportunity, but like you said, Gannon just a little offsides there, and unfortunately they're going to call that every time. But that, like you said, that's going to work at some point. They're going to have it where it's not an offsides, and that's going to work for them, and that's going to be electric when it does.
The Westwood bench, they are just as amped up right now as they were from minute 1, and they are getting their teammates fired up. We are now at 5 minutes. The clock stops, and the rest of the game is on the officials' clock. We don't know. It could be another 5 minutes. It could be 10. It could be 2.
It's kind of the fun of
soccer.
Well, it's
at least 5. Excuse me. It's at least 5 minutes.
That's the fun, though. You don't know.
Yeah.
You're in
It's kind of like
suspense.
gambling when we'll park our car close to the backstop during baseball games. You don't know if a ball's gonna get close or if it doesn't. But you like it feels pretty good when you park it close and nothing happens.
I'm not going to jinx myself, actually, because I gamble a lot with that. I'm not going to say anything.
You have parked very close to the baseball field.
Listen, I have a lot of gear. I don't want to.
And we've seen a lot of foul balls come close to your car, and, you've got some good luck.
I think what a slide tackle for Holliston there. But
Gannon finds an angle to get it up to Shea. Shea sends it up to Hansen. So Wolverines advancing the ball deep into Panther territory. Pass inside. Gannon looking to shoot, and that ball gets deflected. Wolverines going to have a corner kick. So I have to imagine that the Wolverines are going to take their time with this corner kick, setting it up.
Get over there when you feel like
they'll
it.
Test the wind. They'll make sure that all the players are there. Maybe tie their shoes again.
Yeah, make sure you don't want to.
That's what I would do. I'd make sure they got 11 players on the field.
Yeah, take in your surroundings.
A little conversation going on right now, and
how
there
you
we go, a
doing,
little switcheroo. So now we're going to get. Looks like McGovern a kick. She's had some great ones. She had the assist on the Shea goal. So
hey.
And then you get Hansen, who was a prolific goal scorer. Another good kick there by McGovern. Ball in the box. Westwood fighting for it. It's loose. Chipped out by the Panthers, and they get it out to the 10. And battle going on the far side. Physical battle and a whistle.
And that's the infraction I talked about earlier that you want to avoid if you're Westwood. That right there, it's not, you don't.
You know what? That's time off the clock. I think it doesn't matter. They're going to add that into whatever, but.
A few seconds, but still,
it's just exhausting when you have to earn every inch of just trying to fight for that ball and move it and just trying to tie up a game.
Yeah.
Ball loose, chased down by Stamatakos. She's going to send it to Bertone. Allows some additional time ticked off the clock. Ball goes out of bounds. So Panthers looking to take advantage of possession now. Westwood territory. And that's a physical play, no call. Ball misconnection there between Panther players, goes out of bounds, going to be a goal kick. And if I'm Sophia Bertone, I am checking out what's the weather look like for the rest of the week,
Doing homework on the field,
I
making
might
sure
do some
everything's
homework.
done. Thinking, what do I have tonight?
Every second I can before I kick that ball.
A leisurely stroll.
Yep. That is a good kick. That is a great kick.
Oh,
And a one-touch pass by Hansen. Ball works its way back into the middle. And Panthers end up with the ball back on their feet. Great defense there. Stamatakos again gets a foot on that one. Pushes that ball back. They're going to try and chip it up again. It's working its way towards the end line. Going to go out of bounds. And another goal kick coming for Bertone.
you know, Morgan, you mentioned earlier too. I think one of the bigger things was the hustle. You know, you take your time here. I think we've noticed the ball boys and girls slowing down a bit here.
It's home field advantage.
I mean, they've also been running around all night too. I'm sure they're tired.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's a school night.
oh, of course.
You know. Mason.
Bless you. Bless you.
Thank you. Ball back on the foot of Holliston, looking inside. Karen battling for it. She's able to get left foot on it. But nice layered defense there by Lou. Lou kicks it to the outside, goes out of bounds. Well positioned and well defended there by Lou. Now a loose ball here on the near side. Cannon's got McGovern heading towards the net. Now a couple defenders get back in the play. Gannon sent it towards the net. One hopper saved by Lucas. So that was a nice 30-second, 40-second taking off the clock.
I think we're close, Morgan. I would imagine we're coming up on the.
Stamatakos shuts the door. Oh, and they're going to get a whistle. A whistle here, going to be a Panther kick. They're rushing because they know that there's probably
they're running
not
out
much
of time.
And typically the officials will allow it. They're going to allow the kick, you know, in the continuation. Header, saved by Bertone. That was a nice look there. Clutch save by Bertone. I mean, that's a nerve-wracking save to make.
Yep.
As the ball's heading to you off a...
Especially with.
Yeah.
And that.
And that is going to do it. Big win for the Wolverines versus rival Holliston Panthers, a team that knocked them out of the playoffs. And what a way to start for Seth Lukash and the Westwood Wolverines on their opening night. They get a TVL large win, and they look terrific. They looked absolutely terrific. And it was the lone goal was by Olivia Shea off a timely corner kick by Cassidy McGovern, who got her first point of her career tonight. So congrats to Cassidy. But what a team effort to get a big win here, a one-goal win, which are always great because that's what the playoffs are typically are, is a one-goal game. They lost a one-goal game in the playoffs to the Panthers. But a great way to start for your Wolverines. And they're right back at it, what, Thursday night?
Thursday at Norwood.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a good one. And, you know, like you said, great way to start the season. This is exactly what you want if you're Coach Lukash. If you're the girls' soccer team, you know, great solid win to start the season. Terrific effort by a tough opponent, Holliston. They're definitely going to be in contention later on this season. And when the girls' soccer team goes to Holliston, that's one we're going to have to watch. But as for tonight, this is a great way to start your season if you're Westwood, and looking forward to continuing following this team for the rest of the season. And what a great start.
Absolutely. So that is going to do it here from Flay High Field, from Evan Cardomino. I'm Morgan Donahue, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We're looking forward to seeing you all on the next one.